everyone, my name is Jyotika Bedi. I'm the founder of Happiness is Love. Do you know what are the common mistakes newlyweds make? I've been married for 2 decades and I wish somebody had told me or given me a manual or a guide. This video is for you if you want to learn what healthy relationships really look like and feel like, especially when you are newly married. Before I begin, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing onto our channel. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button right now and the ting bell icon button so that you can stay connected with us. We at Happiness is Love believe that when we share our stories of our struggles, our storms and our successes, what happens? We heal, we empower, and we build ourselves and each other. The fact that you're watching this video really means that you are interested in investing in your growth and your marriage, because marriage is really meeting of two minds and two people who want to learn, grow, to be their bestest selves. In fact, I always say marriage is the perfect place for self-discovery. So ladies, be clear and direct on what you want and need, and guys, better your communication, be better communicators and pay attention to what she is saying that is important to her, which means we all have to build skills to build better bonds. I had for almost 10 years, I had the greatest difficulty of asking for what I want and I need, and my husband would just tell me, why don't you just tell me? And it took a lot out of me to just ask for his attention, ask for a hug, ask for affection, ask for his support and help. And that's why I make these videos, so that I want to gift you the tools, the techniques, the tricks, which nobody taught me, but I hope are useful to you. And then I also taught myself how to express my feelings more openly and honestly, without really expecting my partner to be a mind reader. Because I would just assume that he knows what I want and need. Why should I express it? Why should I communicate it? And some of the green flags that I've learned in my 2 decades of marriage, I would love to share with you. Some of the green flags in a relationship are respecting each other when you are mad. I know it's tough when the other person drives you mad and you get triggered, and that's what marriage is about. It brings out either the best or the worst in you, and there are moments, let's acknowledge, let's admit there are moments, or there are those testing tides when you're just like hopping mad at each other. But again, you can demonstrate respect towards each other, prioritizing soothing each other's nervous system. This is so useful. Making a genuine apology when you are wrong, because like I said, marriage is the perfect place for self-discovery. Making each other feel valued, heard, and safe. Before that, I also want to share with you, it's important to try to figure out what my own red flags are for better relationships. We talk about red flags in the other, but you might also want to know what red flags looks like in you. But sometimes we don't want to do that work because we are so focused on the other. So how did I actually recognize my own red flags? Bringing awareness to your own behaviors, your ways of thinking is again very, very useful. And that helps you become more self-aware, which is really your superpower. And there's nothing you can do for your partner but work on yourself, because everything springs from the self. Ask yourself, how do I react when things don't go my way? Or when things are not looking so bright and sunny, how do I react? What happens after a fight? Do I reach out to my partner? Do I hold a grudge for way too long? Do I pretend everything is okay? What are my triggers that I need to work on? Because believe me, whatever are your triggers, they are your signals for your growth. Think about your past relationships. What worked? What didn't work? Was there any feedback from my past partners or current friends that I may be neglecting? Ask a trusted person, someone you feel safe with, about your strengths, your areas of development. Notice your behavior patterns. Think about how your parents reacted to each other and to you. Which habits show up in your current relationship dynamics? Become aware of your own communication style. How do you express your wants and needs, or do you just avoid them altogether? How do you share your feelings? Do you assume that your partner or your friend should just know what's on your mind? I did. I'm guilty of that. Do you think sharing is overrated? Is it necessary? Unnecessary? What are some of your core beliefs that are driving your relationship? What are your core assumptions and expectations in your relationships? Please list them down and read them out loud. Which ones are the ones you would apply to yourself? Reflect on the ones which are helpful or have been unhelpful in the past. Because please understand, having a red flag doesn't mean that you're a bad or a malicious person. It just means that there is some emotional growth and healing work that you gotta do. As a psychologist, I've done all this work myself and I'm still working and learn, because this is a helpful way to really understand and recognize your own red flags. You can speak, like I said, to a person who feels safe. Another way is to find good books to read on emotional intelligence, and you can even start journaling your thoughts and feelings. Because when you're newly married, flowers and date nights are lovely. But what's more romantic than just feeling heard, feeling seen, feeling supported, feeling accepted by your spouse? What else can you add to this list? If you want to have a healthier relationship, apologizing when you're wrong, giving your undivided attention most of the time, genuine compliments, and displaying empathy goes a long way. So what are some of the common mistakes that I made in my marriage, and I would love to share with you, so that I hope this is helpful to you. And you can reach out to me and you can message me on the comment box below if you're struggling with any aspect in your marriage. So what are the common mistakes that I made and the resolutions? So make sure the common mistakes which happens in most newlyweds is more me in a marriage. When you get married, the relationship is we. However, sometimes we forget that, and marriage becomes more about you than about your spouse. So it's more I, me, and no we. So you have to know where the I stops and the we starts. For example, on your anniversary every year, you want your husband to make you feel special and you want to go out for dinner. You would only plan a holiday when you can take leave. You would only go to places you prefer, etc. All this shows that your happiness or consent is more important than your partner's, because it's all about what you want. So how do we resolve this? It is important that you consider your partner's interests as well. This will be possible when you communicate better with your partner. Talk to your partner and know what he or she dislikes, or what their idea of celebration looks like and feels like. Number 2 common mistake: shouting at our spouse. Every relationship has its ups and downs, and there are bound to happen where sometimes the decibels go up. It happens in my marriage too, after 2 decades of marriage. However, if this becomes how you fight matters and how often you fight matters, and if you're shouting, every time you have a fight, it's like a shouting match where the neighbors can also hear you, it's time to pause. It's time to self-reflect. It's time to self-correct. If your spouse makes a mistake, no matter how trivial or grave it is not okay to shout and say nasty things to your spouse. We don't like to be shouted at, so why do the same to our spouse? It is imperative to understand that everyone makes mistakes, and when you shout or scream or throw things, you say hurtful things which hurts your relationship. Words uttered in anger often scar the other person's feelings, because you cannot take the words back, and that's why they say words cut sharper than knives. Make sure that you think before you utter those hurtful words, because once they're out of your mouth, you can't take them back. So as a practice, it's very important important to practice self-restraint, to press plant the pause button in your head so that before you speak, you think before you speak. And you learn how to communicate with understanding and respect. And if sometimes the decibel levels go up and you do see yourself shouting at your spouse, immediately apologize and self-correct. You can pause and say, I'm so sorry, I'm feeling angry or reactive right now. I just need to go for a walk. I need to just go to another room. Or you can just go wash your face and calm yourself down. There are healthy ways of dealing with our anger, and shouting and screaming and swearing is definitely not the healthy way. So how do we resolve? Even if you have a valid point that you are angry about, shouting is not the solution. Make sure you subtly put across your point without creating ill feelings and negativity, and it takes practice to learn to speak assertively. I can put my point across, I can speak up for myself warmly, calmly, and firmly. I can let my spouse know, I'm sorry, I don't have the time for this right now. Can you please ask someone else to help you? I'm not okay with this, ... I disagree with you, Sandeep, and here's why. I can have a healthy conversation by just expressing myself more warmly and calmly without making it a shouting match and making it ugly for everyone. Best is you wait until your anger passes away and then talk to your spouse. Timing is so important. Learning to give proper feedback is so important for the health of our relationship. Third mistake. Do not compare or compete. I mean, easier said than done. One of the silliest mistakes that married couples can make is comparing or competing with their spouse. This mistake may be more pronounced or evident in people with similar, let's say, professional backgrounds or jobs. You may gloat about your professional achievements or accomplishments with your spouse and talk about their failures or setbacks negatively sometimes, especially when you're fighting. Well, it is acceptable to have a competitive spirit or healthy communication with each other, but at no point should you demean your spouse, and lack of communication in marriage can worsen the situation. So what exactly is the resolution? How do you resolve? The first and foremost thing to understand is that even if you are doing separate jobs, you both are single entity or bonded with love. This means your relationship is supreme. It's number one priority even before what you do or your job labels. Be encouraging if your spouse fails and be proud when your spouse excels. There is no room for any kind of comparison or competition between two people who love each other, isn't it? I hope this video was useful to you. We all are work and learn, and I really believe that our mistakes are the greatest opportunity for our growth, for our personal development and our evolution. So as a couple, if you're watching this video, please list down 2 or 3 takeaways that you have learned from this video. Please share, like and subscribe. Comment on the box below if you're struggling with any aspect of your life, at work or at home. Please reach out to us. We at Happiness is Love only believe that together we can build ourselves, build each other, build our homes, build our communities, build our nations, build our legacy. We are here for you because we care, and we are here. Keep smiling, keep shining, keep inspiring.